Welcome to the Full Tracy Money I Do commentary. This is Owen Tracy recording, and it is 3:42 p.m. that is Central Time, and today is August 27th. Well, today we had Nvidia's earnings, and the share is down. What I would have to say is modestly in the aftermath of the slowdown that has been reported in demand from data centers. It raises an important point about just how robust the growth in the data center market is. But it could have been a lot worse. And in the after hours, the price for Nvidia is hovering around the $176 level. That's only down 5 from where it closed. So that's resistance at the upper side of this range that's been forming for the last month, but not much more than that, and certainly nothing in the way of the kinds of downward dynamics, for example, that we saw at the beginning of January, or perhaps more importantly, at the end of January, where it gapped downwards. So yes, a little bit of disappointment, but I think the most important part of that statement is a little bit of disappointment. Then when we look at what else is happening out there in the world, well, there's the other point that was interesting today was that the 2-year yield was down 6 basis points, whereas the 10-year yield was only down 2 basis points. Then that is beginning to price in that the Federal Reserve will indeed cut interest rates, but that the long bond isn't likely to move all that much. And obviously, that is raising another important question about the debt sustainability, about the whole question around whether interest rate cuts are likely to fuel an inflationary trend. And that is something that will be explored by markets in due course. Well, with the short end of the curve moving lower, then the dollar index was also in mildly negative territory in here today, which translated into a mildly positive advance for gold. Oil prices having been down quite in quite a dynamic manner yesterday were a little bit more positive. Then in the broader perspective around the world, well, what we continue to see is a lot of brinksmanship going on around the whole question of peace in Ukraine, and now that is extending to India, where tariffs of 50% have been imposed upon exports from India to the USA. Of course, that's not nearly as important